You can have it. You're most welcome. Good morning and welcome back to the channel. This is GOLDWING, and this morning I'm enjoying some comfortable fall weather. And drop down a few gears for some instant acceleration. Sweet. You guys hear that engine humming? That flat six? Sweet, ain't it? Our first motorcycle. Our first motorcycle that we own personally. What was it? How long did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it? Did it have you coming back for more? Did it leave you with a lot of sleepless nights because you just had to have a look-see at what was in that garage waiting for you the next day? Leave in the comments below. What was your first motorcycle? And how did you enjoy it? Do you still have it? Hey, that's a question. Do you still have it, or do you still have access to it? Is it sitting in some garage or in some shed in the back of grandma's house? I can tell you a little something about my first motorcycle. My first motorcycle, not my first moped, or my first motorcycle that I actually bought with my own money was a 1999 Suzuki Intruder 1500 LC. I know that's a mouthful. I get these motorcycles that you just got a 2018 Honda GOLDWING DCT Tour AIRBAG. Yeah, this was one of those. It was a Suzuki Intruder 1500 LC. And I guess the LC meant liquid cooled. I used to call it the lounge chair. LC for the lounge chair. It was a comfortable motorcycle. It was a large motorcycle. It was a powerful motorcycle for a first motorcycle. And a lot of mistakes were made there. And a lot of learning was done. I recall cutting off on the highway on the Southern State Parkway westbound, and I'll never forget it. It was around exit 20, and I just stopped getting power to it because I had shifted in too high a gear and wasn't giving it enough throttle, and she just stalled on me. I recall the panic that I felt when I see those cars coming around the bend and at highway speeds, and I'm just sitting duck. So that was one of my first motorcycle mistakes, was buying something too large that I wasn't comfortable on. I thought I was a big guy. Hey, I could ride this bike. That was my first motorcycle. I did love that motorcycle though, and that motorcycle introduced me to how much I like customizing motorcycles. Again, it was a large cruiser. A lot of chrome was available. A lot of parts from Suzuki and aftermarket parts were available for that motorcycle. It had been in production for a few years, so there was a lot to do there, and I did it before moving on. Guys, leave in the comments below, what was your first motorcycle, and what are some of the memories that you had about that first motorcycle? Now again, it wasn't all bad there. I enjoyed myself. I do recall getting the confidence to ride 2 up at one point on the highway, and it was a lot of fun. But, and here's the but, I believe that motorcycle stunted my growth early on, because had I gotten something lighter, something smaller with a shorter wheelbase, and something a little less powerful from a torque standpoint, I would have learned to do or felt more comfortable doing maneuvers early on in the street. What's the first motorcycle you really felt like you were doing business? This was your bike. You got comfortable with her. You've got some skills. You're not thinking twice about throwing a leg over her. You're doing your thing. Nobody can tell you anything. You know how to ride. Somebody throws you the keys to their bike, you're not going to think twice. You know what to do when you throw a leg over that bike. Leave in the comments below, what was the first motorcycle you got comfortable with? I'll tell you what mine was. I had a 2001 Aprilia Futura sport touring motorcycle. I had it in the silver colorway, and this bike was something else. It was a 1000cc V-twin. She was beautiful. She was incredibly comfortable. The absolute best stock seat on a production motorcycle that I've ever had. Ever. And that bike, I really got comfortable on it, and that's what introduced me to real sport touring. I mean, really moving a motorcycle at speed on twisty roads with the confident suspension and a powerful engine. First bikes here, guys. First bikes. First bike you owned, and the first bike you actually felt really comfortable on. You can do your thing. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't bring to your attention that I did have motorcycle training prior to getting those first motorcycles. I took the course. I did practice often, very often, and I rode alone and practiced alone often before riding with a group. It's good stuff, guys. Get on your motorcycles. Get on those bikes. Ride your motorcycles. Get familiar. Stay familiar. This time of year, a lot of us are putting our bikes up or getting ready to store our motorcycle. I would suggest just keep her on the tender and keep her at the ready, and take advantage of an Indian summer. Take advantage of a dry road that doesn't have too much salt on it, and get her back out there. Let's drop her into Econ. Love dropping her into Econ before I get off the highway. Don't ask me why. Maybe it's just the softer throttle response that allows me to talk to you guys and still feel comfortable with operating this motorcycle and enjoying a little bit of diesel. We like to do that from time to time. Guys, get out there, ride your motorcycles, and enjoy the rest of your day. This is GB Winging It, and I am out. Speak to you real soon.